This is the low back machine. This is far and away the most complicated piece of machinery to use in the gym. So if you need to watch this video a couple times before you use the machine, that's definitely not a bad idea. When you come up to the machine, you might find the machine in a couple different settings to start. In this position here, I've come up to the machine and the seat and the input pad are all the way folded down. From here, I'm going to pull the pin. I'm going to move the input pad until it's vertical, and I'm going to reapply the pin into an opening in the weight stack somewhere in the vertical position. This makes it so that when I get into the machine, I don't have to wrestle with the input pad, move it out of the way. I can safely sit in the machine without anything pushing on me or obstructing me. The more common scenario is that you're going to come up to this piece of equipment and it's already going to be in this position. If you come into this position and you need to adjust the weight, you're going to need to pull the pin out of the weight stack and make an adjustment. What you absolutely do not want to do is come up here and just yank on the pin. At that point, that'll disengage the movement arm and this will fly back. So before you disengage the pin, you want to have a handle on the handle right there. Now I can safely pull the pin and control the position of the input arm. So if I need to lower the weight, now I can go to the appropriate weight, put my hand there, the input arm is locked. So just make sure you go slow. Don't pull the pin without having your hand on the input arm. When I get into the machine, I need to consider the seat and the positioning of the seat. We have adjustability of the seat from all the way down where it is now to all the way up. These are very different exercises depending on the position of the seat. If the seat is all the way down, this rotary pad in the back is going to restrict the motion of your pelvis, which is going to make this exercise more specific to your paraspinals. If the seat is all the way up, the paraspinals are not going to be emphasized as much. This is going to be more like a hip thrust or a hip bridge, where the primary mechanism of motion is in your hamstrings and your glutes. Most people probably want to start somewhere on the top, either at the top or one click down. There's an immense value to emphasizing the paraspinal muscles, but it's a harder place to start. So if you're new to this machine, I'd recommend the first time you use it, start all the way at the top. We'll give demonstrations of what this looks like at the top and at the bottom. When you come into the machine, initially your pelvis might not be all the way back against the back support. From that point, you're going to want to move your pelvis and your sacrum all the way back until you feel that you're touching the red roller. From here, we're going to bring our locking knee mechanism and our foot plate forward. By pulling back on the handle, we disengage the movement arm. From there, we're going to bring the canopy over the tops of the knees. We're actually going to get just a little bit more bend in the knees here. Your knees should be somewhere in the neighborhood of 45 to 50 degrees bent. From here, we're going to center our shins in the restraint pads. This mechanism right here comes down on the canopy over the tops of the knees. You want this firm, but not overly firm or painful. We're going to take the seat belt. The seat belt's probably the most important piece of equipment on this exercise. You want to have your pelvis really tight to the chair. That's going to give you adequate support to produce force from. From here, I'm going to check the weight, move my client a little bit forward. Somewhere in the neighborhood of 60, 80 to 100 pounds is a lot to start here, so go slow on your weight. Once we go ahead and push back, I'm going to have my client go ahead and push back, holding the handles, pausing at the end of the range, and then slowly coming forward. When you first start doing this, don't feel like there's any point in the range that you have to go to as you're going back. You can slowly explore the range and feel what type of tolerance and comfort you have as your pelvis starts extending back in the range. You can push back with your feet and your legs, feeling like as you push back, you're lifting your hips up into the belt to drive your torso back into hip extension. Go slow, start slow, and progress this slowly over time.